Round one. DJ Dance versus the obstacles of life. Fight!
Time right. It's almost time, baby. You ready?
I'm so ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Now, make sure y'all hitting the thumbs up. Make sure y'all comment and let us know where y'all tuning in from. The show Get 'Em to the Metaverse is about to start. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Come on, make some noise. Put some fire emojis in the comment section. It's about to be insane. It's about to be insane. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Hey, it's called Get 'Em to the Metaverse. You gotta get 'em to the Metaverse. That's joy. That's joy over there.
Y'all.
It's me right here. It's Get 'Em to the Metaverse. You gotta get 'em to the Metaverse. Let's go. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. I ain't gotta sell it too hard for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. It's Get 'Em to the Metaverse. It's Thursday. We hype. We got an amazing show. But first of all, do y'all see this glowing, magnificent, gorgeous, outrageously delicious? Oh, that's a whole nother sermon. How you feeling today, Joy? How you feeling today, Joy?
I am feeling amazing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Welcome to Get 'Em to the Metaverse. We have an amazing show lined up today with our special guests. Y'all are in for a treat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
How are you, Jaden?
Oh man, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, y'all see the vibe, man. Y'all see the vibe. You gotta vibe. Look, man, listen, man. I don't know why y'all don't understand how hype this is, because every time we get on here, it's a whole movie, man. It's a whole movie. Joy, I'm feeling good. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week. You know what I'm saying? So it's been one of the things, since we got a jam-packed show, we should go ahead and get started. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. The air in the room right now just feels legendary. You know what I'm saying? You looking legendary. I'm feeling legendary. We got a legendary guest coming on. So it's just an amazing time. But we're going to go ahead and get into the breaking news segment. We got some people already tuning in. Let me go ahead and talk to some of them real quick. We got Trial Great Wolf in the building. What's good?
Hey there, fam.
We see you. To you and the Mrs. Grey Wolf. We appreciate you. Love you guys for tuning in. Yeah, man, we doing good, man. We got Leroy in the building with the fire emoji saying, man, it's already up. And don't be laughing at us, bro. Come on, man. Don't be laughing at us, man. Don't be sitting there laughing. They said Tribe said busy for sure. Yes. And oh yeah, man. That's the
Yes.
calling card for sure. Well, let's go ahead and get into this week's breaking news. So,
Okay.
I'm kind of it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
It's
It's
always a lot. In these last couple of weeks, we've been having VR has been popping, popping. So let's get into it.
it's been a lot, man. I'm just kind of one of the people right now that's like kind of tired of hearing about this first thing I'm about to we about to bring up because it's just been a lot of noise about it. All right.
Okay.
PlayStation VR. I already know. I already know. We about to get bombarded with people like it's the greatest thing in the God's green earth. Uh, so it's out. It's officially has made its official release.
Yes.
I think it has like over 40 launch titles. Really, really amazing. And from most, the funny thing, most of them were kind of things were already you can get on the Quest, but they're just
Yeah.
amplified, more graphical, intense versions of them. Like I said, the Duncan, the Dunn household did not quite purchase the PSVR 2. It just wasn't in the bag right now. But Joy, what your thoughts is? First of all, you excited that it's finally out. We can stop
We can
hearing
stop
about.
talking about it.
Yeah, it's so many
But
people
yeah,
talking
I'm
about
I'm
it.
so glad that all on Twitter and everything that everybody's so excited. They're getting their packages and they're having these unpackaging videos and everything. It's so good to see that so many people are
Yeah.
buzzing about VR. That's one particular thing that is so exciting. No matter what the like if it's PlayStation or Meta, people are talking about VR. So that's always exciting. But
Oh, I love that.
yeah, it pushes the VR platform forward. So that is amazing. I've been seeing good reviews and I've been seeing some not so good reviews where people are saying that it's overhyped and everything. But hey, you don't know until you put it on. So until
Yeah.
me and Jay Dunn put on it officially, we can't give our,
Yeah, I mean,
official.
guys, I'm just gonna be honest. I love I love what you said. You said something very powerful. You said loving to see people excited about VR again, right?
Yeah.
Loving so from people who absolutely are all into VR to see VR being just celebrated in such a way. All
Hmm.
over our Twitter, all over our Instagram, all over
Instagram,
the
yeah.
YouTubes. Everyone's just so excited. It just makes this medium that we care about so much, which is why we created a whole podcast around it. Get them to the metaverse. It feels good because more people are getting connected into the metaverse through these VR devices, right? So it's a
Absolutely.
it's a win for us. It's just at the moment I haven't seen that killer app moment yet, but of course
Mhm.
we haven't placed it on our head. It might be we go try our demo and I'm gonna look at Joy with that look like
You're gonna
I'm,
be
I'm
like,
I got
we're getting
we're getting it right now.
it.
The only problem is in our household most times when we buy one thing we have to buy two. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Two PlayStation 5s and two PS4 too.
Ooh.
All right, if you want to sponsor us, PlayStation, you know where to find us. But yeah, man. All right, so that's PlayStation VR. All right, so
Mhm.
V50 of the Quest, our platform that we are pretty much championing a whole bunch, is out as of a few days ago, and it has some cool new features. So we talked about what possibly could have been in it, but now it's
Mhm.
actually out. So one of those crazy things that I wanted to talk to you about was, have you ever used the multitasking feature of the Quest Pro?
I have.
To where you could bring up like a browser while you might be inside of Horizon or something like that. Well,
Yeah.
that was
While building.
yeah, while building. So while it was limited to only Quest Pro, you can now do it with the Quest 2 with all the other 2D apps. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. I don't know
That's
what
exciting.
what magic they're using on the Quest platform to get that extra bit of GPU use, but it's pretty cool. And the other part about V50 that we were really excited about was the potential of direct touch now
Oh
being out
yeah.
in beta. So have you had a chance to test this out yet, Joy?
I have not. That's the thing
Yeah.
with this one. I haven't had a chance to test this out, but you did a phenomenal job doing that demo video. I was so impressed when you did that. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is possible?" So, yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Mark Zuckerberg might have stole that, idea. Stole might be a strong word.
Uh,
It might be a
he
strong word,
he
but
was he was very How can you
he was
say?
impressed maybe by,
Impressed.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the way
He was
I
inspired. There
inspire.
you go.
There we go. All
Inspired.
right, Zuck, if you want to sponsor us, you can also find us. All right. And the last thing I wanted to talk about too was the MetaQuest Pro has a better Quest. The Quest controllers themselves, the Quest Pro controllers, have a better wake time now, so it's a lot quicker. Yes,
Whew.
claps to Meta for getting it to easily wake up. So when you put the device on, you'll find with V50 that the headset and controllers themselves synced much faster. Have you had
Cause
issues with that,
listen,
Joy? Go ahead.
yes, I have had issues with that, holding down that button and it wouldn't sync up with it. And I'm like, what is going on? Then tracking would be lost. And it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So to see that it has been improving, in which I did realize that I haven't had that frustration. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, it's finally fixed. So I'm happy about it.
I love that, love that. So we're gonna move on. This is another part about the Meta program. So it's been announced, rumored that I don't know if I didn't realize this actually. That the MetaQuest devices were not being sold in China. So
Mm.
that's a big market that's being missed. And Tencent, which is a big company over there in Asia, wants to partner. They recently there was a news coming out that they were working on a VR headset. Didn't really work out the way, just financially just was not hitting the mark for them, and so now
Mhm.
they're looking at partnering with Meta to maybe license the Meta Quest 2 over there in China. What you think about
Oh,
that? Come on, like
that's
let
going into the Pico area. Those
ooh,
Pico, the Pico company is gonna be like, wait a minute, you on my turf.
yeah, bite
This,
dance, yeah.
they're gonna be like, no.
I actually think it'd be kind of a good thing
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely.
see the MetaQuest in multiple countries. I think it's in Australia, Japan, of course the UK, of course Americas, but just getting it in more people's hands, a wireless device that has the library, right? The library
Hmm.
that the Quest has. I think that's the reason for me too. PlayStation VR has, I think, like crazy amount of titles in what they call it, in development for it. However, the Quest 2, it's so much. It's so much there.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process of what could be to where you have more and more people getting into these VR headsets like the Quest 2. Um,
Yes.
but now, and I'm tired of talking. For some reason this week, it's a lot of I'm tired of talking about it. The Apple headset, man. The
I'm waiting
Apple
for it.
headset.
I'm here for it.
The Apple headset is been pushed back again. We were supposed to see it.
Oh.
All right, listen. All right, I'm gonna put it on me for a second. 'Cause Joy don't had it. Listen, Apple. I understand. Stuff happens. Stuff happens, but we tired of hearing about it. We were always Apple heads. We were always Apple heads, but we need y'all to get your stuff together and get this stuff pushed right, okay?
Yes, please.
Because it was supposed to be April. We were supposed to see it. Now you're talking about WWDC, which is in June or July, and I'm like, man, I just don't know. I just don't know. What you think about that, Joy?
One, you can't rush perfection. I'm just like,
Huh?
I'm super excited to see what Apple does, and if they're gonna push it back to where when they release it, it's gonna be, phenomenal. Okay, I can wait, but you know, I'm getting a little
Yeah.
anxious.
It's a lot of anxiousness there. It's a lot of anxiousness there. So I don't know. We're gonna have to really see about that. But I want to real quick give a shout out to Brett Warlock. He sent in a super chat, $5 saying loving
Hey,
the live. Hey,
thank
we
you so
appreciate you, fam,
much.
for sending in that super chat, man, and just coming in. And actually, I think this is the first time we've seen you on the live, so we really appreciate you
Thank you
taking
so
the time to do
much.
that. Of course, we have Lavanya Jones in the building. Said we are Morehouse. I'm sure that
Hey,
might be connected to our guest in
our
the
special
building.
guest.
Yes,
Yes.
and then Miss Grey Wolf is in the building. Shout out to
Hi
Miss Grey Wolf. Hey,
there.
y'all was watching with Mr. Grey Wolf, but had to hop on on a while. We do some work. I love it.
Oh,
We
thank you
appreciate
so
you. You know
much.
how much y'all how important you guys are to us. So we really appreciate you guys. And I think this is from Tribe. He was saying that the online play is gonna get super laggy when if we get some other people online in different countries. But I'm hoping they build the infrastructure out right
Right,
there.
right.
So we shall see. We can see. But look, Miss Graybush said can't rush perfection. You can't rush perfection. That is correct. Well, let's get into our apps of the week so that we can get to our guests real quick. You ready to get into your app of the week?
Yes, I
All right, so let's talk about this app now, because the last time I saw you play this,
am.
I don't know why this made your favorite. What makes this show your
Man,
app?
okay, so Drop Dead the Cabin
Yes.
has become one of my favorite apps to play.
Okay.
I am loving the zombies. I am
Mm.
loving the tacticalness that you have to have for it.
Uh huh.
I love all the loading. Listen,
Uh huh.
I'm I shouldn't be this excited about shooting zombies, but
This is
I
the
love
problem.
it.
This is the problem, though. She's saying she's excited, y'all, but all I'm hearing from the other room is
Yelling
that
is included.
no,
Yes. If I am
no.
playing this game, yelling is included. So
Yeah,
be expected to hear
but we
something
talking
if
about it's
you're
one
in the
o'clock in the
house.
it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and all I'm hearing is you, and I'm like, oh my
Oh, wait,
god, like that's how she was the other night, y'all. I'm like, I had ran in the room with like a iron. I was like, what's going on? I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was too much. But that's Joy's app of the week. I'm not gonna even go too
yes.
much in that. And we
Y'all, it
actually,
is so fun. If you get an
yes.
opportunity to play this game, download it. You're going to love it.
Yes, and we still have some game keys we got to give away as well.
We
So
sure
we're
do.
gonna definitely get into that. Now, my app of the week, I changed it. I
Okay.
know he was prepared for another one, but I got really excited because I was messing with it before the show.
Okay.
It's okay. All right, picture this, y'all. Okay, you. I'm from the 80s, man. You know what I'm saying? So I like, you know what I'm saying, the 8 bits and the 16-bit Super
Okay.
Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like those type of game systems. What if I told you you can be playing the old school games in like an old school little bedroom with your Super Nintendo console, the NES, your PlayStation, all the old school games like they were meant to be played with other people in VR? What would you say about that? What would you say about that?
Let's go. That
Oh,
sounds so
okay.
fun.
Well, yeah, that is what Emu VR is, 100%. Emu VR is just an incredible game. Now, it's not something that is on the Quest store. You actually have to have a PC. You have to use PC VR to actually run
Okay.
this. But my goodness, you can just see the video on the screen. Like they're playing Street Fighter. The old, and we talking about them old games, man. And you get to play
Oh, the
it with
nostalgia.
friends, and you can play over there online. So even if I have a friend in a different country, they can, or a different place in the country, I can play with them online and play all these old school multiplayer games like Mario Kart, etc. on my VR headset in this virtual room, just this ambience that it has. Even got like Dorito bags laying around. It's just it just gives me that 80s 90s vibe that I miss, So that's my app of the week, you know what I'm saying? I had to put it out there, you know what I'm saying? I see some people in the comment section saying Emu VR, Brad Warlock, excuse me, said Emu VR is so good. Yes, bro, like it
Yes.
is so good. And he said Tribe said we needed it. we needed what, man? What you do? You needed the cabin, you needed what you need, man. Listen. All right,
And I see
so
that Dame had joined. Hey there,
oh
Dame.
man, hey Dame, man, look, bro, we got so many people jumping in today. We excited, man. So last thing we want to talk about before we bring our guest in is a new app we wanted to speak about. Is Gun Jam VR. All right, so Gun Jam VR. It's a fun multiplayer, not multiplayer, rhythmatic shooter where you kind of
Okay.
shoot to the beat. All right, so we
Oh,
both,
that's
how
different.
me and you both like to kind of like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I saw this video and I was like, man, we gotta check this out. We gotta actually get into
Okay.
this. Would be something like this you would want to play?
Yeah, absolutely. Come
Yeah,
on.
I think it's like 14.99. So we got to get into this. We got to play some. I'm gonna get the high score. It is what it is.
Oh
I'm not gonna
gosh, here we
really
go.
be. She don't have to be mad about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how we get down in this Dunn household. You know what I'm saying? We a little competitive. I'm sure Tribe Grey Wolf and his wife, they know Miss Grey Wolf. No, they know about that. You trying to be competitive a
Hmm.
little bit. You gotta be a little bit competitive.
And
But yeah.
also, before we move on as well, as we're talking about apps of the week, I have to shout out everyone on Horizon
Uh
app
oh.
that celebrated and through this beautiful birthday celebration for me on Tuesday. Thank you all so much. Shout out to Hardy, Notorious Big. Dame, like everybody who attended, the whole Meta News crew. Thank you all so much for being there and supporting. I felt the
Yes.
love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, it was an incredible party. It was an incredible celebration. That's why I thought you might have been like, you know what, this might be my app of the week, Horizon. But it'd be so funny because Horizon would be your app of the week just about every week. So yes, and then Mr. Greatwell says, oh my gosh, happy late birthday. We
Oh, thank
appreciate that
you.
so
Thank
much,
you
so
so
much.
much.
You know, Tribe says, if you're not first, you're last. You know what? We're not gonna even get into that topic there. But man, so today. All jokes aside, we said this almost every show since the beginning of Get Them to the Metaverse. We had a guest list. We was like, there's certain people we just got to get on, right? And
Mhm.
we had the blessing to join. I think it was a Black and Meta conference. It was like a little thing they were doing online,
Mhm.
and we got to see this woman, this fierce leader, this CEO, this educator, this Metaversity director come in and just demand the floor, right? She just came
Yes.
in with knowledge, and I was just blown away. Joy was blown away. We were early in our walk
Mhm.
in the metaverse, and this is like around this time last year, and we just
Yeah.
stayed connected. And I'm telling you guys, literally, when we was meditating on who we would have on this show, especially in this time frame of the Black History Month and things like that. We was like, we got to have Dr. Morris on here. So we reached out
Yes.
early, okay? We reached out early. It was like, look, we got to get you on. Look, pencil us into your very busy schedule. So without further ado, we want everyone to give a virtual welcome, virtual hug, virtual claps to none other than Dr. Morris.
Yes. Welcome, welcome.
Hey y'all, hey.
Yes. We are
Yes,
so excited
yes,
to have you. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. I'm excited.
yes,
Yes. So
yes.
what the way we kind of run the show here is we're gonna always, I run the first half of this, but Joy takes over in the process of doing the interview. So without further ado, we're gonna introduce Joy Rain in the building, and she's gonna take over the show from here.
All right. Well, again, first, I have to give you your flowers and tell you thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have been doing in this space. I am an admirer of you. So thank you for agreeing to coming on this show. But before I fangirl out, let me get into these questions. Okay. So for those who are not familiar with your work that you're doing in the metaverse, please explain to everyone here what is it that you do?
I'm the GOAT. So, okay.
There we go. Show's
And
over,
that has been
guys.
our
Let's
show.
start
That
there.
that's the show, guys. In fact, we gonna click off. All right, guys. That's the end of Get Them to the Man. I'm just playing. All right, let's go. Let's go. The goat.
Look, that term has been like tossed around over the last few weeks so many times in different arenas and sports and stuff. But anyway, um, so what do I do? I am an educator who started her career saying, I don't want to teach. I'm a biomolecular chemist and
Mm,
I'm going to discover the next big thing, to saying, you know what? They try to make this stuff so inaccessible to our kids. Let me pull
yeah.
y'all together
Wow.
real quick. Let me make this easy because I know as a mom of five sons
Come on.
My
that
God.
it's not that hard. Y'all just speaking a language that we don't typically speak, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you can bring that to the hearts and mind of the people, like it's nothing that children can't learn. They're a blank slate. You teach them what you want them to learn. And so I went into education to make sure that no young person felt like this content or this knowledge, no matter how challenging, was inaccessible to their brains, that they could
Wow.
not succeed because it was
Yeah.
just too hard or too challenging or no one saw them, because that's what the real problem in education is, that
Mhm.
people don't see our children. And you need to see that child. It's the, it's the stinky child. It's the child that is
Wow.
maybe not so attractive. It's the child that you didn't know didn't have any lights and had to dress in the dark. It's the child that didn't have
Yeah.
anybody to iron their clothes.
Wow.
So it's that child that's going to transform the world if you just see them. So going into education for me was a lot like answering a call to God to really show up in the world as who He put me here to be, and not just because I wanted to, you know, just gallivant around the world and say I'm
Yeah.
great because I'm doing something that's in a book that nobody else is going to look at.
My goodness.
And
Mhm.
so it's very humbling being an educator. And we're not very well respected, but I command respect because I give respect.
Oh,
And
hold,
I think
hold,
that.
Absolutely.
hold, oh, 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 okay. We starting early. Look, even the chat saying we
Shots
love her
fired.
already. The
Yes.
Marcus Jordan said the hearts, the emojis. She is the goat. Show
Hey,
enough.
Demarcus.
Game and drink says talk
Hey,
that
guys.
talk. Period. She's the goat. Price say well protected. Indeed, preach. Look,
It's
it's a
just
lot of
coming on and
love in
on.
the
Yeah.
building. It's a lot of love in the building. Wow, that statement you
Oh,
just said, I demand respect.
Yeah.
That. Anyway, okay, all right, go ahead, Joy, because I'm about to go. I'll go somewhere else with this. I'll go somewhere else with this.
All right. So, getting into the VR part of this, what was your first VR experience like? And also, to what was your first metaversary um experience like as well?
okay. So this two funny stories, as a matter of fact. So I am married to a guy that is a network engineer, design engineer,
Come
and
through,
is a
Yes.
gamer. Like when I say
come
gamer,
through.
I'm talking about like builds his own gaming computers. Like
Yes.
he's never bought a computer if he didn't put it together. I'm talking about water cooling systems and all
C-
kind of
c-
debauchery when it comes to some chips. Okay, so all my kids grew up with their daddy watching them with a joystick in their hand. All five of them, and all
Come
five
on,
of them are different kind of gamers. So in my house, what happens is mama's in the kitchen cooking, feeding folks that's glued to their TV because they playing together.
wow.
Okay,
Yes, indeed.
my first VR experience was with my husband in the PlayStation VR.
Really? Come
Really?
on.
Yes. So I ordered mine. Mine on the way.
Oh, so
Oh,
so
I'll
hold,
oh,
let
hold
y'all
on.
okay.
decide.
I feel. Hold on. I just feel a little shade. It was
It's
just.
not.
It was
It's
just a.
not.
It
It's
was. It,
not. It's not shady. It's breezy here. It's breezy.
oh, wow. I'm loving it.
Breezy.
No, keep bringing it. We love it. We
Keep
love it.
keep
We
it
love it.
coming.
But yeah, continue.
So that was my first experience. And when the PlayStation VR came out, it was kind of like he was mad because he wanted it to do something else, and I was like, but this is kind of cool. Like, I
Yeah.
liked it. And he was like, I don't like it. I'm gonna
Oh,
wait till the technology get better. I was like, oh, okay, okay, but we all agreed that we liked it. We did, but he did. Okay, so that was my first experience in it. Teaching
okay.
in virtual reality, my first experience was with my upward bound math science students. So I'm a science was a science research coordinator. Sorry, my AirPod is falling out, y'all. But I'm the
No, you
science
good.
research was the science research coordinator for Upward Bound Math Science, and we bring first generation college students onto our campus for a residential experience from grades 9 to 12, and we
Awesome.
have those same students in a cohort throughout the program. So we'll see them as rising ninth graders all the way to their rising seniors.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so yes, I did that about 10 years over the summer.
My
So
goodness.
don't want to hear nothing about teachers get their whole summer. Let me just say that. Don't mention that because I every summer I gave that to the cause. Okay.
Come on.
Um,
Wow.
but my first experience, it was COVID, and we didn't want them to have just a Zoom experience. We were like, oh God, how
Mhm.
are we going to engage them? And so pitching ideas, found Victory XR, which is an ed tech company who we work with now in Morehouse, but
Mhm.
they already had like VR tethered to like the next generation science standards, which for me was like, oh, bet we good. We
Oh
got
yeah.
biology, we got chemistry, we got physics, we got
Yeah.
engineering technology. Okay. And so I started teaching it was asynchronous, which basically means that you're in a digitally simulated environment by yourself, right?
Mhm.
So no one else can join you in that space. Well, fast forward to like the fall, we were still in COVID and we couldn't return back to school. We were
Mhm.
trying to figure out, and I was the department chair of chemistry at the time, what are we going to do with these students? Like, how are they going
Come
to
on.
persist in their major
Yeah.
if they can't get the labs that they need, if they can't get the interaction that they need? And we're
Mhm.
talking about young Black men. They have other responsibilities that people don't even understand, other things in
Absolutely.
society that are pushing them and driving them. When you're a young man, you're sitting at home, and the household needs money and funding, and there's
Mhm.
this pandemic going on. It's like, look, we need to eat. So I had a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
students that worked, took care of their young siblings in the house, and it was like, how can I get them to engage in the material and not feel like they're being left behind? Fast forward, Steve Grubbs, the CEO, pitched us the synchronous learning campus, and once I saw it, I was like, oh, this is nice. I was like, but it don't have any
Yeah.
chemistry on it, so I don't know that I could do this. And he was like, you can create it. Oh, you ain't saying nothing but a word. Come on,
Wow.
still
Come
do
on.
it, still do it.
Come
I was
on.
like, oh, you gonna let y'all? Don't, you said I could create my own stuff. Oh, I
They
see
done messed up
molecules.
now.
I'm trying to get y'all to see molecules. Okay,
Yeah.
I got this.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Wow. I'm
Oh my
really
god.
really enjoying this
Oh, and I
because
vomited in the doom. I vomited the first time that I was in this
Oh,
environment. Let's just say that. So I know that was abrupt,
it got
but
too real.
it got real. Because my kids was like, "Mommy, you ain't no real gamer. You ain't gonna be able to do this. You ain't no. Let me get that MetaQuest 2. You don't know nothing about this." They were really like dogging me out bad, and I was like, "Look, go get me some water and cut the lights off. I'm
I
gonna
know
lay
that's
that's
down.
it.
right.
That's it.
I'm about to go lay down."
That's it.
And I
That's it.
did, and I got back up, and I was like, "Okay, so you not young, you older. So sit down and do VR. That's your
Listen,
job."
I want to say it's the same way for everybody. I think when we first got into it too, I mean, after the first 20-30 minutes, I was like, oh well, it's kind of overwhelming,
Yeah.
and definitely depending on the movement style. If it's not, if it's smooth locomotion versus teleporting throughout the environment, you could definitely feel a little bit more motion sick. There's still stuff today, even
Absolutely.
2-3 years into VR, I'm
Yeah,
still be like, ooh, I still can't do it, for
yeah.
sure. So I completely understand that.
You know who can be in VR and it doesn't bother them like that?
Who?
People whose center of gravity is lower to the ground. So no shade. I'm talking about my 5-year-old son. Literally, like he can put it on
Come
and
Wow.
on.
walk around this whole house and just be just as fine as he want to be. Me, I'm like, listen, get your mama a chair. I'm not. What I'm not gonna do is stand up here. I do the fitness stuff standing up, but like not teaching.
Yeah.
I won't teach anymore standing up, moving around. But at the time, I was traversing through space and dissecting a pig, and I was walking through their diaphragm, and I was like, okay, I got to get off the call. I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. Going to shoot my gun
Yes,
down.
indeed.
Yes. Okay, so going into the next question. So you are a phenomenal woman in every aspect of the word. So let's talk about how you're an amazing wife and mother. How do you balance it all?
Girl, let me get my Bible here for y'all, cause y'all folks don't understand how to work. Let me tell you something. Let me show you. You think I'm playing? Cause see, folk be thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing. If your Bible, listen, listen here. This,
Come on.
this how you know you read the word. If your Bible, you see what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
I'm not playing with you. You understand? If your Bible don't look like this, you ain't reading the word. If you ain't,
Come
listen.
on.
Oh, come on, pages.
And
You
that's in the
saw them
early. That's in the
highlights.
early
You
part
saw
of the Bible too. She in.
Right.
She.
baby, baby, we can
That's
take this thing
Exodus.
all the way
That's.
to We can take it to Revelations, baby. She got notes, and she
Come on.
listen. I be searching the word trying to say, now, Lord, you said this was a virtuous woman, but I'm about to go to jail, so I'm trying to.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
That's a great answer though. That's a great
Let
answer
me tell
because
you,
it's really just saying, it's kind of impossible to in most cases without God, without your belief system, without faith, without
Yeah,
knowing who you are, without having something to
absolutely.
stand on. So even with us, even when it comes down to things, we always say on getting things done. When we intro, we say to motivate you to get things done through faith and relevant technology. We're not here to
Yeah,
force our faith on anyone, but we let people know the only reason why you see this excellence and the only reason why you see us operate the way we do is because we serve a higher power. And so
absolutely.
when we see you and we see all the evidence of everything that you do, it's like, man, it's a lot. 5 sons, a whole household full of men, and then go look, then getting in the metaverse and helping students and building out. Look, she's going. She,
It's like,
yeah,
"Woofa."
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
tell you something. I have 5 sons, right? But at Morehouse, there are 2,200, give or take, young men that literally call me Dr. Mom. Um,
Wow.
and from the time I woke up this morning, now this is full disclosure, to like right before I got on, I was talking to a student. Literally, like I woke up to him and his mama texting me, and
My
with,
goodness.
and
Wow.
so listen, the way how it is all in a full, all encompassing type of purpose that I'm walking in this season. It's like, how do I handle it? It is by God, because anybody that would see that sees my schedule, and I know Joy, you talked about this, like, how do you do it? Oh my God, you know that that's a faith walk,
Oh,
because I just
yes.
had surgery January 12th. I got in a terrible accident and got a couple of surgeries that I had to have. But I had surgery on my shoulder, like four surgeries in one, like no for real.
Wow.
And I've graduated out of my sling in the house, but not out in public. So
Mhm.
um, even now, according to most folks, I probably should still be convalescing in the bed. But the way that my purpose set up,
Come, come,
that's not how
come.
it
There
goes.
you go.
So I am still evangelizing accessibility of this type of technology
Say
for
that.
young people, regardless to their socioeconomic condition, regardless to where they go to school, where they live. I want this technology to be accessible, and we need students
Yes.
to be more connected to technology, because innovation
Come on.
innovation through technology will help catapult you forward towards your goal of prosperity and generational wealth. And for
Ooh,
our
yes.
culture, for our young people, reparations looks a lot like a good education with a technological lens that allows you to go out here and innovate and be an entrepreneur and get out in the game and figure out how to run this capitalistic society. And when I say run this capitalistic society, is you live in America. Most
Mhm.
of my students do. So you live in the greatest country in the world, to
Yeah.
be honest. And even though I'm a Black American, I know that I right now can't trace back not one family member anywhere
Mm,
but in America.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take advantage of every situation that I can to give me the best advantage. And the way that you overcome, in my eyes, oppression of any type is through education.
come on.
Through education and building up yourself and your spirit man, and going out there on faith and taking care of your family, because nobody is bigger than God.
Yeah, Lavanya
Absolutely.
Jones said faith and purpose.
All day,
She
Yes.
every day.
says that speaks to your impact, Dr. Mom.
Aw.
Definitely,
Yes.
this is what we do at Morehouse.
Yes.
Listen, we Tribe said something a
Look,
little
I
bit
can only
earlier
lift this
too.
hand a little bit. So this is the house. Look, I
Come
can
on,
only lift this hand. I can't lift this hand much. So that's all I got.
Tribe said if she had a podcast, I would watch it. Listen, that
Yes.
look,
Hey, well,
you
I
never
got
know.
one coming. I got one coming, and
There
maybe
you
I'll
go.
introduce that later. It's called Me Versus Me. No, it's called Me Versus Me. So yeah,
Okay,
it's
Okay, we
coming.
got the
I've been
exclusive.
working on it for about a year.
come on,
But through my
Awesome.
company Metaverse United, I am going to start. I said I'm going to be the Oprah of the Metaverse. That's going to be what I'm going to do, because I
come
think
on.
this
Yes.
technology needs to be, every person needs to understand it. And I feel like as an educator, I'm able to break things down in lay terms for the common man, for for the
That's
common
it.
man, because I think that's the only way that we're going to advance. If we don't get out here and change the minds of people who can only think about a criminal activity in order to get ahead, that's because that's what they believe it takes to get ahead. But
Well, that goes into my next question.
come on, question.
So, how important is representation in this space to you?
Oh,
Mm.
it's very important. When I show up, I don't really always have a lot to say about who I am, because you see who I am. But what I'm gonna let you know is that just as I am, there are so many more like me. I stand before you as one, but I come as many. So I am representation of all of the young boys and
Come
girls
on.
that look just like me, who are looking at
Absolutely.
themselves in the mirror like this picture that you see in the background, and hoping that they're going to grow up to be the professional that they want to be. And a lot of
Yes.
people, life just don't cut them don't give them that chance, right? Even as children, your life is written before you even take your first breath. You're
That's so
already
good.
born into an impoverished situation. Well,
Yeah.
that could be your start, but that definitely doesn't have to be your finish. You just need to come and meet me, because I'm gonna
Come
Absolutely.
on.
build you up. Because I don't believe that there's anything that God has put on this earth that is to be thrown away. Nobody. He uses everything. He uses your pain and he uses your
Mhm.
strength too. And if we can get our young people to understand who they really are and whose children that they really are, then I think they will have a better vantage point. I mean, it's about mobilizing the church for me. The church is me. I am the church.
Come
You know
on.
what I
Yeah.
mean? I represent parts of many. So I for me, it's like I represent all of humanity. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
multifaceted. I have different experiences that make me up. Black people are not a monolith. I'm a black
Yeah.
girl with a chemistry degree, 3 chemistry degrees.
Come on.
Um,
You
and
bet you don't just like that. You don't just we gonna give praise for that because listen,
Yes.
the representation, like you said, I love that picture that you pointed to in the back. Me looking at it, just the representation, what that means when you look. I want someone to see what I'm doing and know it's possible. Not only possible, but you can
Yes.
go even higher. You can go above and beyond what I'm doing. I'm just this. I try to tell people all the time when I see content creators, when I see other people who are getting in this space in VR space, I say, listen, if I'm the floor, if you might be coming in, I might be the floor where I want you to step and go higher, go above. I'm not
please,
competing with you
Yeah.
because I'm already at a place and I'm just going to keep going in my purpose, but you have a purpose
Absolutely.
too. So I just love that. I just wanted to, just don't know. We ain't going to slight the three. We not going to slight the three, but go
No,
ahead.
we can't.
listen. The thing is, the one thing that I thought about a long time ago was one day I looked in the mirror and I looked at myself and I just really thought about all of the things that I had overcome and all of the things that I had accomplished. And I said, you know what? I remember looking at myself getting ready for school one morning and not knowing if I could sustain going to school for as long as I needed to go to school to get the education that I needed to change the generation, well, my next generation, or change the trajectory of my own family, right?
Yeah.
And I remember looking up with big brown eyes at my teachers and
Mm,
feeling like I had so much like hope that I would be a particular person, but I wasn't sure if I would ever get that opportunity because I knew what we lacked in terms of finances.
mm,
Um, and just staying that path, staying the course and persisting despite any external situations has gotten me to now. So what people
Yeah.
see as success has taken 40 years to cultivate,
come
right?
on.
This
Wow.
singular moment of success meant that I was a little girl that did her homework in the dark when we didn't have any lights. I was a little girl
Yeah.
who, came home to no electricity and sat by the fireplace and read books and, just different things that I have endured, having to go ask a neighbor for soap because, y'all just didn't have it and there was no
Yeah.
money for it. You know, those kind of things change you. But
Yes.
when I looked in the mirror as a grown woman and I looked at myself and I realized that I am who I hoped I'd be.
Come on.
That's when I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Every child deserves to feel like they are who they hoped they would be,
Wow.
not who they had to be.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest blessing of my journey, of my walk. I never really even expected the kids and the husband. I just, just when I think about, yeah, I didn't. That wasn't in the plans, but just even if I think about my career, even the ups and downs, my success wasn't a straight, like straight to the
Oh
top you
wait,
go.
that
It
was
was
going
not
into
that.
my next question. You
Okay.
feeling it? You feeling it? So my next question was, as an African American woman moving through the space in tech, that is usually a white male dominated field. What has been your experiences or your struggles in with diversity or the lack thereof?
So I could tell you all the bad stories because it's a lot of them. But I could tell you this: I've always been the only black woman in the room.
Mm,
Chemistry is a white male dominated field. It just
Mm.
is. Literally every room that I've been in since the age of 14, I have been the only black female.
wow.
Seriously. So matriculating through my bachelor's degree at Clark Atlanta in chemistry, I was the only female because I was in a bachelor's master's program. So I was getting a graduate degree, but I finished college in 3 years and then did a fourth year of a master's program.
Wow.
And when my lab lost funding, I was like, I'm about to go get my PhD. I'm not about to stay here. So then I
Come on.
left and went to Emory and got my master's and my PhD in biomolecular chemistry. And
Yes.
everywhere I went, I was the only black girl in the room. So I realized that okay, I'm not gonna see myself until I look into the mirror. I'm not gonna see anybody that looks like me until I look in the mirror. But what I am gonna do is make every ancestor's prayers come true,
Come
every
on.
last one of them. So
Yeah.
for this we pray, and I'm gonna be that prayer. I'm gonna be answered prayer, and so
Come
I
on.
always look at myself and say, I am answered prayer. I am my mother's answered prayer. I
Wow.
am my
Yeah.
mother-in-law's answered prayer. I stand on the shoulders of many women. So people say, how did you do it with 5 kids? I had 4 kids by the time I was 29 and a PhD in
Wow.
biomolecular
Woo!
chemistry and a
Hold on.
husband that
Wow.
was taking care of my
We have to
mother-in-law.
pause right there.
We got to pause right there. That by itself. Look. Lavonia said it earlier. She's a parent of 5 and an educator. Like, come on. Passionate, super passionate. I just want to take some time because the audience been going in while we've been talking. They just
I haven't
been
even looked.
they've been just going in. Just the conversation. It's been a lot. We see BMF VR in the building. What's good, fam? Thank you for
Hi
tuning in.
there.
Thank you for tuning in. Yes, but there was a part in here I wanted to get to. The Marcus Jordan said she did do her work. Show enough when we was in school. Yes,
No, this is like
that's it.
elementary school. This is history.
That's it. But Trial had a question. He said, "Was this taught to you? What you're speaking about this? The attitude that you're having, the purpose-driven life that you're pushing in. Was this something taught to you? Was this something already in you? Oh, you good? You good? You good?
Listen,
But we'll
this
we'll
AirPod don't like my ear shape. It says,
come on.
it's being hateful because my earrings cute. Y'all see that?
Oh
They
yes,
are
we see
cute,
you.
girl.
We see you.
Yes, they
No,
are cute.
listen, I'm not even gonna tell no lies. I'm not. I think that I was just born this way. I'm a unicorn. I'm a rainbow. I'm somebody that just really sees the glass all the way full for me,
Come
overflowing,
on.
running
Yes.
over, honey. Cause I'm like God could not have put some words out here that we not. I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna be. We believe everything else. Well, I'm not
Come
gonna
on.
believe him. I'm gonna believe him, and before it's all said and done, I'm gonna test him too, cause I
Come
need
on.
to know some things about him and some things about me. And so my mama, I cannot lie. My mom and dad, I have great parents, to be honest. Like I have wonderful parents. I'm one of 4 children. I have an older brother who had meningitis at the age of 4, left him brain damage. So when I was born, he was
Wow.
8, and I never knew him normal. So he was 4 when he got sick. So it's my older brother Gordy, my sister Naima is 2 years older than me, and then it's me, and then it's my younger brother Sabir. But my mama, Gordon and Alice Holmes Sr., they were just different kind of parents. right? Blue collar workers. Neither one of them had any college degrees, but they were entrepreneurial in spirit. And one thing about my dad, I could say that I got from him was his his confidence and his courage, like his
Mm.
ability to work with his hands and work through a problem. He was an auto mechanic, and when I tell you, he was gonna make sure that his baby girl had every bit of technology that she needed, because he worked for Southern Bell,
Yes.
and while he was a mechanic on the trucks, he didn't care. He was still
Come on.
listening out for the business community, like what's going on, what AT&T is doing there, what is Intel doing, what is Telecom doing, so that he could buy me my first Commodore 64 computer and I could play Donkey Kong
Wow.
all night.
Come on.
But my dad was really like, I will work on every car so my daughter doesn't have to. And I used to like going out there to work with him. And I asked him as an adult, I said, Daddy, why you never let me like work on cars? Why you didn't really teach me how to work on cars? He said, baby, because you got to be better than me. And I was like, but
Wow.
Daddy, you don't understand. I'm changing pistons right now in my lab, and I just need to know how I do this because you change pistons all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I was working on an instrument. I was like, I got all the way to a PhD to figure out I really still needed to work with my hands. I said, so Daddy, you have gifts that you don't even understand.
Yeah.
But then my mom was so courageous and bold, and she had her first child had meningitis, and people were saying, put him away in the institution. And my mom was saying, not on her watch. And I had a mama
Wow.
that was Martha Stewart and organic and all kind of stuff way before anybody else was. Okay,
Mhm.
so we didn't have Kool-Aid till we were 13. We were born into Islam, but I had a mama that was a Methodist. So it's kind of strange growing up to be. Uh, you gonna learn the three major religions. You're gonna know about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Go learn it, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're gonna see
Yeah.
the Torah, the Bible, and you're gonna see the Quran. Now go and go.
Go do your research.
Like,
That's your
go
homework.
read. Like, seriously, my mama, in a minute, baby, if she was feeling the spirit, you're gonna sit down at her feet and she gonna give you a whole Bible lesson, okay?
Come on.
And then the next day, she gonna pull out another book and you gonna read, and she gonna my before the cassette. Remember when you used to go to church and they give you the little cassette? My mama was that mama.
Come on
So
now.
much that my brother was like, Mama, we gotta talk about God every day. Every day we gotta talk about God.
Come on.
He was like, "Can we get a break?" I said, "Boy, you about to get hit. See,
But it's
you
that
don't,
foundation.
It's
It's
the
that
yeah."
foundation.
foundation that set the precedent of what you are today. That woman that we can even just all applaud um that you are. So we appreciate you so much and your upbringing and your foundation because it matters so much. And we see this in the chat. They're like, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I love y'all. Thank y'all for rooting me on. Cause listen, this journey sometimes gets very, very lonely.
Listen,
It get
look,
lonely here.
they were laughing at some of the tape, the cassette tapes, all that good stuff. Mrs. Graywill says she's a super mom and determined. Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
This is a question I wanted to ask for you. I know you have your company that you want to talk about because that's another part of the get into the metaverse, the whole brand itself. Metaverse United. Can you tell us what that's all about?
absolutely. So we're an educational consulting firm who specializes in helping you find your own metaverse culture. So how can you actually optimize what you have as your company's culture in the metaverse? And I am willing to sit down and consult with you on all of those matters because I absolutely know majority of the platforms, and I've been in this space for quite some time. I've been around the
Come on.
block a little bit. So join, reach out to me at unitethemetaverse.com. But what I really saw was that there was missing education. Like, there was not a lot of people who understood what was happening, that this was a $1.5 trillion industry. That was like a year ago. So let me say, I think now the number is $33 trillion industry. And there's been so much money in this metaverse and Web3 space that has just passed
Mhm.
people by. And definitely our young people who are out here creating content already, it's like, listen, you're already doing it now, do it in another modality, do it in another way.
Yeah.
Figure out how to actually leverage all of your talents and gifts in this new space, because this is the way that we're going to get full adoption of the metaverse. Or it might not even be the metaverse because people so petty, by the time it's all said and done. But at the end of the day, whatever this persistent shared space where we're able to, you know, be entertained but be educated,
Come on.
meet and feel like we are in the presence of people, that environment is what I'm talking about. And so giving people an understanding of where do I belong in this ecosystem, this embodiment
Mhm.
of the metaverse, like that, the internet, like that is what I'm really here to do. So with my students, I always take them through kind of like a personality test, so they'll know exactly who they are. Because I feel like self awareness is really important to
Yes.
Yeah.
your success. Like if you're not really aware of your habits and the things that really make you your brand, make you your organization, make you who you are, then you don't really have a good command of where you're going.
That's so
So
good.
Yes.
that's exactly what I'm doing for different organizations and companies and educational systems that come and ask for my services. I basically help my clients find where they belong. Where do you belong
Awesome.
in this metaverse space?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, you go
Yes.
ahead and plug. I like how you plugged it too. Like, you want to holler at me. I've been around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't been around. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so real quick, we have to talk about, because you do so much, but we can't gloss over this. So let's talk about how you're an advocate for autism in the entire spectrum of it. You wrote the
Period.
incredible book "Seth Can Do All Things," and I
Ah,
have to follow up with you about this. So, do you think that VR and the metaverse has any benefit to anyone who is experiencing autism? And if so, how can you explain, how it's a benefit?
absolutely. So, being a woman who actually talked late in life, and I feel like I exhibit some of the characteristics of a person who is on the spectrum. I mean, what woman do you know gets a PhD in biomolecular chemistry with 4 kids and is able to really do that? Like that's because they
Yeah.
have that singular focus sometimes. Um, but I
Mhm.
guess I was a little baby Einstein too. But I did not really communicate well. But I had a mother that cultivated that in me. And with my son
Love
Seth,
it.
who is 15 now, but was diagnosed at age 3, I had to start thinking about what the world was going to be like for him. And so
Yeah.
all of my work that I do and the research that I do, because I have my own research lab too, the Morris Research and Innovation Lab.
Come
My
on.
God.
So we we basically center all of the work that we do on inclusiveness for those who have autism. How can we make sure that they are developed in the workplace, that they're going to live quality lives when they
Yes.
outlive their caregivers? And virtual reality has the opportunity to give them the type of skill development that they need in a safe space to get the
Yes.
right type of vocational rehabilitation services and training that will keep their employment numbers higher than they are. Right now, unemployment for those who are on the spectrum is 85 to 90%. And
Wow.
that's regardless of
Wow.
educational level. So you can have a bachelor's degree. And I know a young lady that I taught has Asperger's, and she has a master's degree and she's still unemployed. She's still staying at home with her mom.
My
She
goodness.
cannot, the workplace does not make any accommodation for
Hmm.
certain things. And I think that is a travesty because she's a brilliant young girl. I taught her organic chemistry. And so
Hmm.
she is now doing her own like groups with people and helping other people who have autism like navigate the world. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's not that because they lack brilliance, it's because they lack belonging.
Come
They
on.
lack the
Mm.
world being inclusive to them and saying that it's okay. But I could tell you what I do know: 1 in 45 Americans adults live on the spectrum. 1 in 44
Hmm.
children age 8 are diagnosed in the United States of America with autism, and I am a advocate for um, those who are on the spectrum and the neurodivergent population. And I am one of the biggest mouths on Morehouse's campus when it comes to making sure that our students understand how to advocate for themselves, get the services
Yes.
that they need, and
Come
don't
on.
take no wooden nickels, like my grandma used to say. Don't take no wooden nickels, okay? And have them tell you it's money, okay? So
Yes.
that's the goal, is to how can we train our neurodivergent population to be more than just greeters at Walmart. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying
Mhm.
that, is that going to allow them to live the quality of lives that they were
Come
living
on.
before their parents passed away?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is that going to
Yeah.
really allow them to command the salary that their other skills are worth? So, how can we make sure that we are providing them an environment that is safe to navigate, but also we're providing them an opportunity to hone their skill sets and get further along than they possibly could? Because they like
Mhm.
repetition and they like order and structure. And there are several things in the tech field and the STEM fields that they
Yes.
can do. So, that's my goal, is to make sure that when I close my eyes, that Seth and everybody like him and like myself are able to thrive in the environments that they're in, that they have the type of community, the type of educational system that includes them, sees them, and represents them, and allows them to be who they're supposed to be in the world, because they
Yeah.
too have purpose. And so
Absolutely. Oh
it's
my
important to
gosh.
see that.
So Kim, we just pause and just say thank you to Dr. Morris for all the stuff that she's doing. We're not even finished yet, but
Yes.
just thank you for all the
Yes.
advocating that you're doing.
Listen.
And oh, it's just so much.
Look, I had to clap
It's
this out. No,
amazing.
it's a lot to know not only being an advocate for autism, also the 3 degrees, the entrepreneur, the CEO, the educator. It's like I saw it in the chat earlier, and so many people chatting. It's hard to get back to me. It was, I think Price said, "What does she not do?" It's like there is no such thing as what she doesn't do. If you find something that she say you say she can't do, she gonna do it. Now Tribe
Oh,
has a
right, that
question for
part.
you. Tribe has a question for. Wait, what are wooden nickels?
They are fake money. Fake
Fake,
money. So
fake
listen,
money.
back in my mother-in-law's day, my grandmother's day, my daddy's mama, Mary Lou child, she used to say, I was not going to the movie theater with nobody that was trying to sell me no wooden nickels. So basically, back in the day, to go see the show was 5 cents. And so men would ask you on a date and they ain't have no real money. So they be done carved the nickel, right? In some wood and be trying to pass that wooden nickel. That's how counterfeit money was.
Wow.
Coins was back in the day.
Coin.
So yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I ain't taking no man with no wooden nickels now. That would be her. That was
Come
her
on.
advice. That was her advice. Like, look, if he ain't coming with no real money, no.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, we have two more questions for you and we're going to let you go. So, how does it feel to be making Black history in the metaverse?
You know, it's a it's a surreal moment. It's kind of like, wow, God, like I am really who I hoped I'd be. Because
Yeah.
you hear all these stories about these triumphant Black Americans that overcame so much oppression, and you wonder, like, what am I going to be able to give to the world? What is my legacy? What am I leaving? And it's like I am doing exactly what God wants me to do, and I am grateful for
Yes.
the opportunity to spread my brilliance and not just my blackness. Like, it's one
Yeah.
thing to be Black; it's another thing for you to really celebrate brilliance. And I feel like,
Come on.
you know,
Absolutely.
that's really important, that someone outside of just me sees it and recognizes it. And that's not because I did anything. I mean, I did things, but that I was obedient and surrendered my life a long time ago. And I listened to my elders that, deposited those little moments of wisdom that you needed to hear. Like, it was hard truths
Hmm.
a lot of time. And one of my, and I'm gonna say this, y'all. Give me a second, because
Take your time.
Yeah, take your
give me a
time.
second. One of my neighbors slash uncles slash, we call him Daddy Thomas, Norman Thomas Sr., a Morehouse man, graduated in 1965 from Waycross, Georgia. We called him Dr. Thomas, and he lived across the street from me my whole life and has known me since I was 3 years old. And he succumbed to the other side and has gone on to glory as of Sunday. And he was the first black man that I knew that had an advanced degree. I never understood that there were layers to this thing until one day I
Yeah.
said, Dr. Thomas, why do they call you Dr. Thomas and you're not a medical doctor? And he said, come here, let me tell you a story. And he was a historian, so he always had a story. And he was on the campus of Morehouse when Dr. Martin Luther King used to come by and visit and speak to the students in 65 when Benjamin
Wow.
E. Mays was the president, right? So he would always tell me about, like, he introduced to me what a PhD was. And that's what he had. And it was in history, but he was in education.
Yeah.
And like how he became a leader, and that kind of pushed me along the way that there was other avenues. Like if you were a
Hmm.
brilliant young person, you didn't just have to be a lawyer or a doctor. You could be a researcher, you could be a
Yes.
speaker. He was a motivational speaker, and he would always say, are you living in your sunshine? If not, you need to live in your sunshine now. Or he would always
Love
tell us to
that.
have a positive mental attitude. Like you must have a PMA. You got a PMA? Positive mental attitude now. And so he
Oh,
was
love
like
that.
just always giving you like these little nuggets that kept you going. And um, we will funeralize him on Monday. And I am being flown to DC because Meta is celebrating me as making Black history.
Come on.
Um,
Woo!
and so I
Yes.
won't be there, but when I thought about my life and who I am and the people
Oh, that's okay.
who
Yeah.
have stood in the gap for me,
Come on.
it's
Hmm.
people like him, like my mom and my dad. It's people like my Uncle Charles and my Aunt Lil. It's people like my cousins and my siblings who have, you know,
Yeah.
seen me
Yeah.
and acknowledged me and, you know, lifted
Uh,
me up all the time. It's people like you, Jay Dunn, and you, Joy Ray, that, you know, see me just doing my thing and, you know, want to, like you said, give me my flowers now.
uh-huh.
But it's so important. And right now I have my so a third generation Morehouse man. So Norman Thomas Sr. was class of 65. Norman Thomas Jr. was class of 96. And he's my pastor at First Baptist Church. Hey,
Come on.
buddy.
Oh.
And then my little nephew, Norman Thomas III, will graduate in class of 2026, but he works on the Metaversity project
Woo!
in Morehouse
Come
College
on.
with me because he's done production for his dad's church for all of his high school career since he was a little boy. And so really talented and gifted. And so he works in our Metaversity program as our
Amazing.
production manager. So what I'm saying is like I'm paying it forward to another generation, what was paid
Wow.
Mhm.
forward to me. But it's we're all connected, right? We're all connected
Yes.
and we're all here to do the work that God has put us here to do. And
Wow.
I'm just grateful that I decided to pick up that torch and say, it's me, God. I answer the call.
You know,
Yes. Ooh.
and I know, and I know Joy has one other question. I just want to say this. Um,
My gosh.
a lot of times people ask us, and I don't know if BMF is still on here. He's another fellow believer and is a big personality in the VR space. A lot of times people want us to separate our faith. I'm gonna put the camera on me because I'm about to get all doctorial for a second. A lot of times
Come
people want
on
us to
now.
separate our faith from our
Yeah.
purpose, but you have no purpose without faith. Um, and
Come on.
listening to your story is like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, when we started the YouTube channel, they'd be like, man, why, what does faith has to do with the metaverse? What does faith have to
Hmm.
do with technology and VR and all those things like that? And it's like, it's what God put me on this earth to do. It's the history that God
Yeah.
wanted me to
Mm-hmm.
make. It's the door that God wanted me to open. And just because this may not be a church setting, but like you just said earlier on the podcast, I am the
Mhm.
church walking.
Yep.
Everywhere I go, every place I am, I'm representing. You see the cross on my neck. Like I'm always representing the faith in everything I do,
Yeah.
in excellence, because that's what God requires of me. So listening
Yeah.
to you even talk about the legacy of Dr. Thomas, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
It's a powerful thing to know. Not only that, but now serving the next generation and making
Yes,
sure that the
that
Black
part.
history continues. So it's like Black history is not just history; it's the connection. It's the connection to the next generation, the door opening for the next
Yeah.
person. Just we want to just applaud you for your openness and your willingness to share such a dynamic story. Tell you, the podcast
Yes.
kind of don't. It's ministry tonight, y'all. It's straight up. You getting the hood. You getting the ministry. You get everything. VR gate, all of it. But we
Cause
just
I love
appreciate.
Jesus and trap music.
Come
Let
on,
y'all
there
know.
you
So don't
go, there
nobody
you
get it
go.
Come
confused
on.
when you go and you hear little baby on
Come,
my
uh,
timeline. Mind your business and drink your water.
Come
there you
on.
go, there you go. So Joy, let's go ahead and get the last
Yes,
question.
in this final question, the show is called Get Them to the Metaverse. How do you get people to the metaverse?
Girl, by having a good time, you're gonna get this learning because that's
Yes.
what you need. So how do I get you to the metaverse? I tell you about my journey into the metaverse. I tell you every young person that I see and they don't know anything about a virtual reality headset, they don't know anything about technology. I say, baby, look here, unitethemetaverse.com, go look me up. And when they do, I say, do it right in front of me. They be like,
Yes.
oh, oh, you.
This
I'm like,
you.
yeah, it's me. This me. So what I'm gonna need you to do is tell me what your gift is so we can figure out how to get you to the
Wow.
metaverse.
Yes.
I love that. You
And
you just you just
yeah,
flipped the script. No, go ahead, finish it up.
no, so that's it. That's how do I get them to the metaverse? I'm just open. I'm open with who I am and what I've accomplished. A lot of times we try to like downplay who we are, and
Hmm.
that's not what God requires of us.
Come on.
That's not humility. That's being
Say that.
afraid to allow your light to shine so that all men can see God's glory. Because it's not
Ooh,
about
that
me.
was a gem
It's
right there.
really
Come
about
on.
what God is doing in me and through me. And so it's really important. And I know this is the thing too. People like, but science is logic and science is this and tech is concrete. And it's like, okay, so how'd you get that science?
Come on.
And how'd you get that technology? And how'd
Come
you
on.
get like for me, it's like you gonna hear about God because what I'm not gonna do is wrestle with God because of what you thought.
Come on.
Come on.
Look at her face. Did you see
You
that?
will
Yes.
Did
be
you see
all
the? Did
right.
you see the? Did you see the
You
face?
gonna be okay. But what
Mrs.
I'm
Great
not
Wolf
gonna
said,
do,
"Look, if you ever have any church service in Horizon, count us in. Come on."
we're looking
We,
forward to it. We're looking forward to it because
come,
the what you're gonna get is the cold hearted truth. What I've
that's
learned
it.
is that we care too much about what people think about us. What people think about you ain't your business. It took me a long time. I had to say
Exactly.
that thing over and over again. What does that mean?
That's
Yes.
What
it.
people can think about you, it don't even matter.
That's it.
Doesn't.
Stop reading the comments. Why you reading folk comments? They don't have. Guess what? They don't have nothing to do. You want to know why? Because they commenting about you. They don't know you.
Exactly.
So
Oof.
why do you care? And my thing is, at the end of the day, nobody really inherently knows who you are, right? Only God knows everything about you and can help you peel back the layers and get healed in areas that nobody else don't know about, right?
Come on.
So
Yes.
there's not one person that has a heaven or hell to put you in. So what
Come
you
on.
scared of?
That part.
Why you dumbing yourself down? Why are you not talking about your ministry? Why are you not talking about the work that you're doing that can help save somebody else's life? Because what I don't want is for me to walk by a young man and then see him in the papers the next day because he
Wow.
was a criminal, trying to get milk for his baby, or he,
Yeah.
something happened with her and she, couldn't get any time off work and she spazzed out, or what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to
Mhm.
be in anybody's presence. So if you helping me in the airport, I'm gonna tell you about it. If you helping me and I see you and I feel like your spirit is ready to receive it because I
Yeah.
feel what God is telling me in my heart, then I'm gonna talk to you about it. I'm not gonna sit there with all of my self-important ways and feel like I don't have anything to say to anybody or the common man because,
Yeah.
oh, they don't have the aptitude to, or they don't have the certificate to. How you
Oh
know?
no.
Come
You
on.
don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know what people are, what people's prayers are, and what
Yes.
their expectations are for themselves. And so you can't say because this person is just your Uber driver today that they won't take
Come
this
on.
information back to their children and get them what they need. Like every family, every person, I could tell you, is looking for the same thing. That's why I say we're all one humanity. We're looking
Yes.
for the same thing. We want somebody to see us. Was
That's
I
good.
did I ever live?
Come
Did
on.
I ever really live?
Come
You
on.
know what I mean? Did somebody see me? Did
Yeah.
they hear me? Was I worth it? Because once you close your eyes on this side,
Hmm.
who is it really that's going to remember you? So you have to
Yeah.
always think about, like, what's your long standing legacy? And for me, it
Yes.
was always that when I close my eyes, I want them to be talking about Dr. Messina Morris the way that they talking about Robert Woodruff,
Come on.
Carnegie
Yes.
Mellon, um, Rockefeller.
Come on.
Yes.
Okay, I want my name to be akin to those giants in this country that built that country. I want them to be like, 1% of the wealth belongs to the Morris family. Like, yeah, that's what I'm looking
Come on.
for.
Let's
That right
speak it.
there.
I love
Okay.
that. I
I
love
want a
that.
couple of parks. I want a library. I want a museum.
You
I
better
want a
say that.
plane. I want. No,
Come
I'm
on.
serious, and it's not about the wealth. It's about, like you said, it's the representation. It's that this little girl that did not know who she was gonna be, who came home because her parents could not afford the light bill
Yeah.
and other bills, and had to see her mama crying because her baby was ill, or whatever the case may be, and felt
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what? If I just do my homework tonight, that's one step closer to my goals. Because I'm a little
Yeah.
girl that never did, I never missed a homework assignment. I don't understand the whole zero, like students be having zeros in the grade
Oh
book. I
yeah.
be
No.
confused.
Come
I
on.
be asking them, like, come on now. Because I have not missed a homework assignment yet until now. This was my homework to come talk to
Yeah.
y'all.
Come
And I
on.
showed up.
Oh. And
That's
we
it.
appreciate you so so much. Oh my
Yeah.
I
God.
You ain't just
appreciate
show up.
y'all.
You showed out.
Yes.
You showed out. We look. We appreciate you once again for taking the time out to come on the podcast. We literally have normally we have you and we want to go all these closing remarks and stuff like that. It just we can basically end it. We can basically end it, but we want to make sure you get a chance to plug everything where they can find you real quick. We
Yes.
want to make sure that you get a chance to plug that in. So go ahead and let them know where they can find you.
So look me up at unitethemetaverse.com. And my social links are on there where it talks about me. And on IG, I'm at chemistry. And yes, it's spelled ChemYstree because I'm a
Yeah.
mystery.
Love
All
it.
right.
And no, it ain't spelled like mystery. It's spelled just like I said, Miss Tree. Y'all heard me.
We love it. We love it. We love it. But once again, we appreciate you so much. Like this is one. This is a show for the books for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
We knew having you on was going to be impactful. Was going to be insightful. Was going to illuminate so many other people. Look, I'm coming with all the words. I mean,
Yes, and be
I'm in my
so.
doctoral mode. You know what I'm
Come
You
saying?
on
in your
now.
doctoral mode. I'm
I'm
Yes.
in my
feeling that.
doctoral mode, you know what I'm saying? But like honestly, it's just an amazing, amazing time with you. So many people, I believe, I'm seeing people in the chat saying they're following you now. Need to know you. We're excited to have this on our YouTube channel that people can go back in the archives when they see that Moore's library. When they see that, they're gonna be like, man, I saw an interview on
Yes.
getting things done. You know, of this same person. You know,
And
this
her hair was
individual.
cute. Come
And
on now.
come
Come
on,
on.
come
And her
on.
earrings was popping.
And her earrings was popping. Listen.
Bling.
That's it. That's it. Joy, will you have any closing remarks?
I cannot say thank you enough to Dr. Morris and how inspirational she is to me and everyone who is watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a living legend, and I just cannot say thank you enough. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to get them to the metaverse. Thank you for rocking with us, y'all. Like, for
Wait, can I
real.
Yes.
shout out my husband real quick? Okay,
Absolutely.
real quick. So shout out to Christopher Morris, who's the head of my household, who holds me down, who takes care of these boys and listens to me ideate over and over again about the metaverse. So shout out to my husband Chris, to my boys Anthony, Matthew, Christopher, Seth, Cameron. Wait a minute, who else I'm missing? Oh, I got a daughter-in-law that's coming up, y'all. My oldest is getting married.
Woo!
So
Come on.
Kai. And then Diavion, Kenzie. Let me see who else I need to shout out. My sister Naima, Ian, Sabir, Sage, Jay, Derek, Lil Sabir. Did I get everybody? Let me see. Zion, Christine,
Come on.
all my family, all my friends, mom and daddy, sister, brother, cousin, family, everybody. I think I called everybody.
Love it, love it. And one more time, the website, IT Tracer, what's that website again? Is UniteTheMetaverse.com, right?
Yeah, and I ain't letting that go.
Come on. You better
That's
not.
gonna try to be something else. We're gonna flip that into something else.
Come on, come on. Well, listen,
And if you enjoyed this podcast as well, make sure you like it. Make sure that you share it with someone so they can get this wealth of knowledge. And so, yeah, give it a thumbs up and share.
Yes. Well, listen, y'all, this has been Get 'em to the Metaverse with your boy Jay Dunn and the illustrious, beautiful Joy Rain. And we will see y'all next time. And all I got to say about that is peace.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Peace up. 8 time down.